I'm going to give you a little bit about my background. When I came here, I was really struggling in life. I was in the point in my life where I was really fed up with my parents, and I wanted to move out of the house and live on my own. I was tired of fighting with my mom every day. And so I remember this one Saturday morning, my mom and I were driving to church, and we were sitting in the parking lot for a whole hour and a half, yelling at each other, talking about different things, and of course we were both in tears. It was a big, huge mess, and I was like, you know, Mom, I am sick and tired of fighting with you all the time. I've had enough. I'm moving out. And of course, I knew in the back of my brain that wasn't going to work. I mean, I was only 18 at the time, and you know, there's no way I could really support myself. And so I went home, and of course it was Saturday afternoon, so I was going to take a nap. And before I did so, I said a prayer. Like, I wasn't even praying that much because I had kind of strayed from the church. Like, I was going to church and everything, but I really wasn't following any of the things that I should have been. And so I prayed, and it was the first time I prayed in a long time. I was like, you know what, God, I am fed up with this. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I don't want to be yelling with my mom anymore. I can't support myself, so I don't really want to move out, and I feel like that's the only option here. And so I was like, okay, if you want me to do something, then please just give me an answer. And so I slept for like 3 hours that afternoon. And when I woke up, on the end of my bed was an email, and I was like, okay, this is kind of suspicious. So I read it, and it was actually the acceptance letter to Wildwood. I had applied back in January, but they had denied me because they didn't have any space, so I was like, okay, well, Wildwood's not an option either. Because a few years ago, my brother had come here, and that was kind of his escape from home, too. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just escape to Wildwood like my brother did. But that didn't work out so well. And then, so I got the letter, and a few days later, July 4th, I was actually going to the July parade. I got this call from Tina, and she's like, okay, you've been accepted as a student. Do you want to come as cash student or work scholarship? And without even thinking about it, I was like, work scholarship. I just want to come as work scholarship. And my mom just looked at me. She's like, you didn't even think about that. I was like, no, I didn't have to. I knew that I was supposed to come as work scholarship. And I was like, okay, well, this is kind of interesting. So about an hour later, I was sitting there in my car. I was stuck in traffic with Mom. And I get this other call from some guy with an accent. I can barely understand him. He's like, would you like to work with my wife in hydro? And I was like, okay, that sounds like a good job. I may as well take it. It was actually Fernando, by the way. So I got a job. I talked to my mom, and I was like, okay, they accepted me to Wildwood. I have a job. They want me to be there. I got a call like 10 minutes later, and they're like, okay, orientation starts tomorrow. Can you be here? I was like, no. I'm 3,000 miles away. I have a job. I have a car. I have a family. I can't just leave and come tomorrow. So it took me about 2 weeks to get my job taken care of and my car and everything, and I came down here 2 weeks later. And it was truly an experience being here, because when I first got here, I wasn't even talking to my parents at all. Like, they had just had enough with me. And it was definitely a struggle. I want to read you guys this quote. It's actually out of the Collage handbook, which is probably not the same anymore because I know they changed it. But it says, we have come to a time when every member of the church should take hold of medical missionary work. And this, to be honest, really scared me. Before I came here, I didn't even know what a medical missionary was. You know, I had heard of missionaries, but I'd never heard the name medical missionary. A missionary to me was someone that went and told other people about Christ in other countries. And so I actually ended up in Jesse's office last semester, and I was like, Jesse, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, I don't understand half these classes, and I have no desire to be a medical missionary. Like, I don't even know what that means, and I don't want to go to other countries. I am done with this. I just want to leave. And I remember he was just like sitting there smiling at me, and I was like, this isn't going to be good. And he's like, you know what? You are a missionary wherever you are. Did you realize that you are a missionary right now? And I was like, okay, this isn't good. He's gonna make me stay here. And did. I stuck it through. I was work scholarship last semester. I was working in the diet kitchen most of the semester last year. That was truly a challenge. Yeah, I didn't get along real well with some of the coworkers, but that eventually changed. We got along really well towards the end of the semester. And the Lord was really working on my heart. I know that there were points in time where I told my friends, I was like, you know what, I'm just running away. Like, Chattanooga is not that far away. I'm going to go get a bus. I'm going back home. I'm just going to leave. You know, I can do this. And, of course, the Lord kept me here. But, yeah, it's been really good. I've learned a lot here, things that I never even dreamed of learning. There were tons of things in the spiritual classes I didn't even know Adventists believed in. And so I've learned a lot more about not only being a Christian, but being an Adventist as well. And, you know, through the 6-month course, they give you a lot of challenges. And yeah, they weren't easy. Like, I know in the Christian living class they were talking about the music and the dresses, and I was like, I'm Alaskan. I can't wear dresses all the time. It's like I'm on the boat fishing and hiking, and you don't do those kind of things in a dress. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And the music thing was really hard for me because I know before I came here, I had a subwoofer in my car, so I got into listening to like hip hop and R&B and stuff, and you know, I was kind of hip like that. But yeah, so the music was definitely a struggle for me. I ended up in Jesse's office for that one too. I was like, Jesse, you used to be a drummer. Like, what's up with this music thing? I can't take this anymore. I don't want to listen to all this super holy music. And, but it's interesting because I kept praying and praying and praying, and I know Kanika was my roommate last semester, and she kept praying for me, and I was like, yeah, Kanika, I don't think I'm going to change on this whole music thing. Like, that's just not going to happen for me. And she's like, okay, dear, I'll keep praying for you, I'll keep praying for you, and I'll pray. Okay, you do that, but I'm not changing my music. And the beginning of the semester, I came to prayer meeting. I was so excited because I got a new roommate, and she has a computer, and I had plugged my iPod into her computer to charge it. And you know, when you plug the iPod into a computer that it's not used to being, the iTunes pops up and it says, I'm sorry, your iPod has been synced with a different computer. Erase and sync or cancel. And it was the funniest thing because the cancel button was actually like flashing at me, and the erase and sync was just like subtly waiting there for me. I was like, I can't do this, I can't do this. That's going to erase all my movies, all my music, everything that's on my iPod. I can't do this. And, you know, it reminded me of the way that the devil and the Lord works. The Lord is just subtly waiting there for us to say yes. And the devil is like just attacking us and everything all the time. And I was like, you know what? I think this is a sign, like, I need to do this. And so I pushed the erase and sync button, and yeah, I got all of my roommates' Christian music on my iPod and erased all my music and all my movies and everything. And I was so excited when I went to prayer meeting that week. I was like, Jesse, Kanika, I erased everything. And of course the group on the other side of the church had to go in the back room because I was being too loud. But yeah, everyone was pretty excited as well as I was. So it's been a good thing. I've really enjoyed it here. I've had lots of good friends, lots of good experiences. I want to thank my parents, even though they couldn't be here. Yeah, they've been through thick and thin with me. Like, I've told them a million times, like, I can't do this anymore, I want to come home. And then, like, 2 days later, it'd be, oh, I love this place, this is great. And then a day later, I hate this place, I want to go home, these people are terrible. And so they've been through thick and thin with me, but they kept supporting me, and they're like, you can do this, just keep holding on, trust the Lord. And I had lots of friends that were encouraging me too, and I have to thank Jesse for sticking out with me, and a lot of the teachers, and they kept encouraging me. I know I have my adopted dad here, Mr. Puffer, and unfortunately my adopted mom couldn't be here, but they've been really nice to me too. They kind of took me under their wing, which was really nice because it's my first time away from home. I hadn't really been away from my parents a whole lot, so it was really nice having like a parents couple here. And so, yeah, I thank all of you. It's been a good experience, and I encourage you, wherever you go, trust in the Lord, because there's going to be challenges, there's going to be hardships, but He can help you through anything. So my song today is number